Most people write letters to movie stars. The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock, especially when that guy was on the roof. P.S. Do you know Mad Max?
Welcome back to Did They Game It? I'm your consigliere on things that never were and never shall be, Michael. And let us take you back to 2002 when The Adventures of Pluto Nash was a thing, and I was getting deeply concerned about Avril Lavigne's dyslexia after reading the way she wrote Skater Boy. Also, Die Hard Vendetta for the GameCube was released.
Some people have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. John McClane has a knack for being in the wrong place at the right time.
McClane?
Don't try to stop me, Al.
I was just gonna wish you luck.
Game over.
His daughter has been kidnapped. Los Angeles is under siege. And this time, McClane is target number 1. America's unluckiest cop is having another very bad day.
Just once, I'd like to have a normal workday.
John McClane, it's time to die.
This is gonna be fun.
Based on the blockbuster film series with an all-new storyline, Die Hard Vendetta is the hardest core action game available for the Nintendo GameCube.
Drop it.
Die Hard Vendetta.
Dad, it's not worth it. It's over now.
No, this is just the start.
Sean, you told me you stopped watching Die Hard after the third one?
Yes, I've not seen any of the Die Hard movies after Die Hard. What is it? It's the one where they're in New York and Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
With a Vengeance.
With a Vengeance, yeah. I've seen all up until those ones, Die Hard 1, 2, and With a Vengeance. But
well, then you're in luck because this is supposed to be the 4th Die Hard film.
Okay.
Yeah, so instead of reviewing a certain Die Hard film like those millennial burger joints, we do things a little differently around here.
I like it.
And we're just going to review this film, or 4th installment of Die Hard.
Let's do it.
It's kind of like with Ghostbusters, the video game. It's supposed to be like the spiritual 3rd film. So that's basically what we have here, but then when the 4th one did come out a few years after this, I think about 5 years later, that's the 4th film, obviously.
Okay, so this is no longer canon.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense anyway, because his daughter's a cop in this one, she's not in the 4th one.
Okay, yeah, definitely already continuity issues. Well, playing the game, you could kind of tell that there was a lot of things kind of just pieced and stitched together as far as a storyline, it seemed like.
Yeah, we watched the clips all pieced together, and maybe I just didn't pay attention as much while I was playing the game and seeing all the clips, but a lot of it didn't make sense and wasn't very well thought out.
Yeah, there's like an art dealer. We're going to spoil it, right?
I don't think we have to worry about somebody complaining that we spoiled a GameCube movie game.
Okay, well, Hans Gruber's son shows up. There's a failed actor who turns crazy, a guy who really likes tuna, and somehow they're all just out to get John McClane.
Well, and that's Die Hard Vendetta for the GameCube. No, yeah, so it starts off with John McClane watching a museum reveal where Hans Gruber's son, Piet Gruber, brings back an art piece for the museum, and John's daughter, Lucy, is a police officer working the event. And then somebody comes to steal the art, so, of course, John McClane gets involved and goes down there and runs into his old friend.
Hey, just trying to do something good for the city of Los Angeles after all the bad will that my dad had cured.
Yeah, and then John McClane runs into Reginald VelJohnson.
Big selling point for this game for old Reggie.
Clearly on the back, and Reginald VelJohnson is Carl Winslow. Urkel's neighbor.
Steve!
Out of my house, Steve! But they actually got Reginald VelJohnson back. Nobody else plays their role from the movies.
Yeah, I mean, he is the only recognizable voice actor.
And they have him talk a lot.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get the guy and really promote it off of Reginald VelJohnson, you You got to make sure he's got enough lines in there.
I just love that it says that on the back.
Yeah,
Like
it does.
that it's building up that Reginald VelJohnson is in this game.
It's almost like when there's like things advertised, whether they're cons or whatever, and it's like, you know who we got showing up? Reginald VelJohnson. Sergeant Art Powell from Die Hard. He's going to be here, taking photos, signing autographs. You just strap yourself in for this wild ride.
Well, my thing is the way they built it up, that Reginald VelJohnson is in this, and I thought, how many people know who that is unless you say Carl Winslow?
I mean, we geek out on it a lot, so I don't know. There's probably us. And then the Key and Peele skit, that probably did a lot for him, too.
Yeah, well, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I still love whenever that one comes on.
It's too good.
But I didn't even know his name in Die Hard. I just always call him Carl Winslow.
Okay.
Or when he was in Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it's Carl Winslow.
Didn't he play a cop in Ghostbusters?
He was a cop in that too.
So, cop in Family Matters, cop in Die Hard, and cop in Ghostbusters. He's just typecast.
I swear I saw him as a cop in something else too, but that's at least 3. And all right, that's our review on Reginald VelJohnson.
Join us next week
on the Nintendo GameCube. But yeah, of course, so John goes to the museum to save his daughter. Shooting ensues. And
yeah, hostage situation.
Yeah, and then now he's going after the art. And then there's Sergio.
Right, but also you were mentioning to me, like, because I was like, oh, does Hans's son, Piet, know that Lucy is a police officer? And you're like, no, not at this point in the game. And you're like, well, then it's all happenstance.
Yeah, which earlier when Sean and I were talking, we both said happenstance at the same exact time. And I was just wondering if anybody has ever been able in the history of the earth called ditto on saying happenstance at the same exact moment.
It was wild.
Yeah, that stopped me for a few minutes.
Just gotta really rethink things.
I was just thinking, how many times in a year do I say happenstance? And then just by happenstance, I said it at the same time.
Well.
That's 2. So, yeah, because the plot, I don't know, because when I was reading about this, they were acting like it is a thought-out movie for Die Hard 4, but it's not. Because there's so much stuff where I'm just thinking, like, well, why is that happening? Like, the gallery art director, he's involved in this plot to steal the art, but it never says why he's in with MacGruber and the actor turned criminal.
Yeah.
Former soldier turned actor turned criminal. That they give you a whole synopsis for that, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so strange that it's like, okay, yeah, like, I guess if things were explained a little better, you could see that, but it feels like, yeah, well, we'll just have the art director be part of them, and then that's, like, never really explained why.
No, it doesn't say if it's an insurance plot for him or what. They just say that you'll be handsomely rewarded or whatever, and that's about it for him. And then he goes to jail, then they kill him. It's not a well thought out plot.
No. Not saying, like, it's Die Hard. It's never really too intricate, but when you're gonna weave this many webs, then it becomes complex.
Well, and not saying the GameCube should have a well thought out movie plot, but when I was reading it and they made it seem like it did, I paid a little more attention and then realized that it just doesn't really add up, or it just has a lot of loose ends that they don't explain to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the art director's in on it.
Just explosions and chaos ensues.
Yeah, I just lost my plot. Yeah, so because John's just trying to find the art for the rest of this thing.
Well, and protect Lucy, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she just keeps popping up. And then...
and I don't know if it's just the way the cutscenes were laid out in that video, because I didn't play too far into the game. But, yeah, okay, initially she's held hostage, but then he rescues her. And then he's still, seems like the way the character of McClane is written in it, it seems like Lucy's still being taken under hostage. Because he's like, where's Lucy? And stuff. And you're like, dude, she's a police officer. She's probably got other assignments she's on. I don't know,
Well, I know she gets taken hostage twice for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe that's why.
Yeah, because he rescues her the first time, and then he saves the art dealer guy in the sewers or subways because they're basically gonna kill him.
All right.
And then when he goes to the jail, there's a bomb maker who basically sets up bombs around the police department and at the front doors.
Didn't know I can do that.
And his name's Nitric.
Nitric, wow.
So he has to let Nitric out to defuse the bombs at the front, and then he's like, if you run, I'll put holes in you. And then in GameCube animation, it shows him run away. He just runs off.
Never put holes in him.
Yeah, so now you gotta go find Nitric. And this is also where Lucy was taken hostage too. At the end of this level, she gets taken hostage. Nobody gets... I don't know why Piet Gruber doesn't just shoot him and end it. But I guess that's a flaw in a lot of these films.
Yeah, just always some MacGuffin, huh?
Yeah, so again, Home Improvement, we're back to a film studio.
Oh, that's true. I didn't get to play that one. How was the film studio?
It was fun.
Nice.
And then when you play that, you go on an alien set, like Home Improvement. You go on an Old West set, and that's where the final showdown happens.
Okay. They really lean into that, too, with the cowboy and John McClane being so cavalier.
Oh, yeah, they keep calling him cowboy throughout the whole thing. And they keep having a lot of the callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're at the studio, you have to use Starlet's RV or trailer to break open the gate. And when you do, you go in there and you arrest Nitric. And the Starlet, she wants to press charges against John McClane. So you have to go to prison. And of course, the guy right next to you is Nitric. And Nitric is a fan of tuna.
Nitric. There's... whoever thought of this name, right? They probably thought, what's a really edgy 2000s name? Nitric.
They put a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
So, Nitric is eating... This all plays a part, believe me. Nitric is eating out of a can of tuna.
Nitric loves new metal.
And John McClane keeps making, comments about how it smells. And then the tuna comes up again, and Nitric gets busted out by the army/actor/criminal guy.
I was wondering, too, and I know if you've seen the second Die Hard movie, he dies, but then the main villain in that, is that who's kind of this army failed actor guy supposed to be portraying? Because, he has, in the cutscene backstory, it's he's got, his, fitness tapes or whatever. And if you've seen the second one, that guy's, doing, naked Tai Chi in the beginning of it.
Oh, yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I never remember his name, but I just, I don't know if because they're, trying to tie in Gruber and this guy.
Do you just see bare ass in the beginning?
You do. You see some bare ass. It's crazy.
Because I know I had seen it on TV a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did watch it, I think, once, just on streaming. But
you're like, wow, I did not want to see that.
Well, right off the bat,
Yeah,
too.
just we're getting into it, huh?
But no bare ass in this game.
Thank goodness. Other than just the plot points or the plot holes.
So, well, yeah, it was ass. So, tuna. Once you escape the prison, you say... You save the warden, you escape the prison, and he's like, I almost did the accent, because throughout this game they do some pretty spot on accents of different cultures.
It's very, like stereotypical.
Yeah, because when he just says that, I'm just gonna do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, when he just like,
I only answer to one man, and that ain't you.
like that. But yeah, so you go to a tuna factory after that to find your daughter. Yeah.
He was just leaving breadcrumbs, huh?
Yeah, because when you kill Nitric on top of the prison, he drops a tuna can that slowly rolls away. Which makes you know you gotta go to a tuna factory.
I guess isn't there that thing, like, certain criminals, like, once they get to, like, a certain level, they just want to get caught? So they talk about people doing that.
Yeah, like leaving clues behind and stuff. Or
Yeah.
they get too arrogant. But I don't know what person chooses tuna as their calling card.
Nitric.
That's like some sticky bandit stuff.
Wet Bandits from Home Alone. Home Alone.
They were the sticky bandits in the second one.
That's true. They were. They rebranded.
Gotta keep evolving.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the tuna factory, there's that guy you gotta rescue that's in the tank. So the tank fills up with water and you have to like shoot it so this guy doesn't drown. And then you say you're getting help and you just leave him.
Terrible.
Yeah, you never come back. So yeah, you go to the tuna factory, Lucy's not there. Then you go to another warehouse and you find a missile. And then you find out MacGruber's big plan is to blow up the LA airport unless he gets $1 billion. What does the art heist have to do with that? I'm just wondering, unless you needed the stolen art to fund the missile or something like that, but it doesn't explain it. Why was all the art stuff there? And like I said, if it was to get Lucy involved because you knew she was going to be a cop working at the gallery, then I would have got it. But he doesn't know who Lucy is. He didn't even know that was John McClane's daughter when they were standing together until she said dad for some reason.
Yeah.
So you kill the people guarding the missile, and then you go to the showing of a movie that the army/actor/criminal for hire used to be in, but he got replaced. And that guy, you're wondering if his whole motivation is to destroy part of the city because he got recast.
He is such a disgruntled actor.
That's what it seemed like.
I'll never work in this town again. There won't be a town in me to work in again.
Well, isn't that what you got off of it?
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is very a loose revenge plot storyline.
Yeah, so you kill him and stuff, and that's it. Oh, I guess I left out Nakatomi Plaza.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering where that played a role in.
Well, because it wasn't really necessary. You go to Nakatomi Plaza to face MacGruber's son just because that's where the first one happened.
So they must have rebuilt it after the first film.
Yeah, and then you go and fuck it up again. Like that level was fun in the game. So we're going to end up talking about all this again. I'm just saying if this was a movie, Nakatomi Plaza isn't super important in this one.
Other than that's where MacGruber, Hans, Piet's father, and John originally met, right? That's where everything kicked off for the old Die Hard series.
It's not to... shit. No, the difference is not to sound pretentious, but Nakatomi Plaza in the movie seemed like a character. And in this one, it's just a setting.
There we go.
Now I sound like one of those people that eats at the Millennial Burger places who would pay $30.
Do you have mason jars?
That's how that sounded.
That's all good.
I couldn't help it, but yeah. So that's my pretension.
Eat some canned tuna like nitrate, you'll be fine.
This movie's just this
movie game.
It's just changing me.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, that's kind of what the story of this movie, right? This fourth installment of Die Hard. But, they didn't land the plane, but it was still kind of entertaining enough for a game.
Yeah, so you kill everybody and save your daughter.
Yeah. There you go.
Any extra thoughts on the movie part of it?
Not really. It just felt like there was a lot of ideas, and whoever was in charge of all this was just like, yeah, let's go with that idea. Oh, okay, let's go with that idea. And they just tried to work it all in there, and it didn't quite land, but there is something there. There is a little bit of a nugget, and
For the movie?
well, yeah, I think if they had someone who was a little more like cohesive with things, then like let's really clean this up. They could have had something, but maybe it's just because they're used to writing games that they're like, it'll make itself work, or the way people play, I don't know.
I just think it's funny that they brought in another Gruber.
Yeah, it feels like lazy sequel writing, right? Everyone's related.
Yeah, because...
oh, you're a Skywalker too? Or a Palpatine?
Yeah, because
or a Gruber?
That third Die Hard had his brother.
Yep.
That you kill him too, and then... Now, this guy doesn't even mention his uncle getting killed.
No, it's all about my father. And, again, at the end, we find out Piet really didn't have a close relationship with his father at all.
Well, this was more daddy issues, the game.
Yes.
Because Piet had a problem with Hans Gruber. He said his father didn't even say 2 words to him his whole life. And then Lucy doesn't want John to treat her like a little girl anymore.
So, Piet's whole motivation, is it to get back at his dad? Be like, I got John McClane and you couldn't? Or is he trying to do it and hopefully like earn his father's love in the afterlife? I don't know.
Well, clearly if you made it happen at Nakatomi Plaza, that's for your dad in a way. Because you want to kill him where he killed your father.
Right, but I mean, isn't that like, is it more of just like, Dad, I did what you couldn't do? I don't know.
Really getting into the psychology of his father issues.
Well, when we're breaking down daddy issues, the game, I think that's the only natural way we can go is to play armchair therapist.
I think it's to get back at his dad.
Okay.
I did what you couldn't.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to blow up the LA airport either. He kind of failed this whole way through.
Yeah,
he
that's
didn't
true.
even kill John McClane's daughter.
Right.
And when you play the game, she sucks to protect. You have to protect her at one point. Like, it's not a long, drawn-out one, but it's
but it's like one of those where it's like, the AI of that character is just like getting in the way of things.
Basically, that's what happened. She had a gun.
Doesn't use it.
No.
You're a trained police officer.
Because the first time I died because I didn't know that. And then I died the second time. I died harder because...
Did you live free, though?
Because she didn't even turn around. She didn't fire the gun or anything. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to have to do everything for this little bitch.
Oh, jeez. But she wants her independence, Mike.
Yeah, but then she needs Daddy to come in and kill all these people for her.
Oh, boy.
So, let's get to the game.
Yeah.
What was your impressions of it?
Okay. There is something there. They are really close with the game portion of this. It's fun. It's engaging. But it's very glitchy and unresponsive at certain points, which makes it frustrating. But otherwise, I really was having fun playing it up until, like, you would make progress and then you would be doing something like hitting the button or a button that should progress the story in the way it needs to, and then you would get an objective failed because the character wasn't lined up exactly right. It, maybe millimeters off or something, or the jump animation, right? You being maybe it's on the GameCube, maybe it's not as crisp. Some of the ways things are coded and laid out, I don't know, but it was very close in my opinion.
I feel the same way. It was such a missed opportunity. It was right there.
Yeah.
Because I had fun too with the gameplay. Getting through, the enemies aren't super difficult, but I kept dying from jumping.
Exactly.
Or falling into something.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was almost all my deaths. And that's where you know it's a messed up game, where you shouldn't keep dying from just jumping or falling more than an enemy with guns are actually killing you.
Yeah.
And that was constantly it. And I was having fun with the game, but I would keep getting stuck on things where I had to turn the brightness all the way up on both the TVs I played on, because I would just miss stuff that you would have to like hit a button on a wall or turn a dial, because I just wouldn't see it at all. So I would run around and kind of get lost, and then eventually I would have to like look it up how to do this. I felt bad that I just had to watch you struggle, but I just wanted to see if you got caught in the same things I did, and you did.
Yeah.
So it leads me to believe that that's a flaw with the game itself, because you were doing the exact same things I was doing earlier. Like the jumping part, and then when you have to sneak into that one building and hold a gangster hostage to get the other ones to drop their weapons, you did the same thing where you snuck up behind them, pressed the button, and nothing happened, and then they saw you.
Yeah, it just was like instantly, oh, objective failed. It's like, what? I did what I was supposed to do, and it just like, yeah, it wasn't lined up exactly how it needed to be or something, or to the very, nth degree. Yeah, so I noticed that too, because like there are certain things where it does like kind of, yeah, the combat's very easy. And like navigating around isn't too bad. It's just when you're like, okay, I have to play like in a stealth fashion now, which is cool because that is true, right? And like in that video we were watching about like the cutscenes,
Yeah.
they had like an extra section where the developers were talking about like some of the game and how they designed it, and they were like, in the movies of Die Hard, John doesn't just go in guns blazing. He's methodical. He kind of takes his time and so forth. So it's like that was cool that they instilled that or incorporated that into the game, so that way you should play that style as John McClane and so forth. So just it's understanding and knowing like when to do that, but yeah, there are the just jump mechanics, and maybe it's the frame rate of the game. I know it's first person, but it would have been nice to maybe back up the first person camera a little bit.
Yeah.
I noticed like you get up to a wall and you're very close. So, manipulating your character's movement with the sticks, it's very quick and rapid and kind of disorienting if you're not, doing it and stuff. So it can kind of be a little, just mess with your head a bit for that. But
I was just getting frustrated because you'd have those long runs of action where things are going well, and then you'd have to get to a certain point where the mechanics just completely screwed you over. Like the one where you have to take the gang guy hostage. I looked on YouTube because I had to check because I thought I was doing something wrong, because there's a back door to the building too. I did that and that didn't work. And then I watched the video, and yeah, it was just because you weren't lined up perfectly where you were supposed to be. And then like when I was trying to do the jump thing and show you that on the roof, because it has a mechanic where you can turn on and off an automatic jump, where you just run off the ledge and it jumps for you, because they said that you shouldn't have to check your feet on the ledge when we're watching the game developer thing.
yeah,
And my thing is, if you made this mechanically well, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
right.
Because you can just get a feel for how it works. But I couldn't get that feel with this, because I turned off the jump mechanic. I tried turning it on. And when I was trying to show you that, and if you move backwards, it just throws you off like 20 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how far like away you are from the edge, you will just automatically go off the edge.
And that's why I was getting frustrated when I was playing it alone, because you would have to have precise jumping on some things, and I jump, and then the game would be like, you wanted to be yeeted back 20 feet? That's silly, but here you go.
Yeah.
And then I get thrown off and I die, and I'd be like, why'd you do that? Now you're dead.
Yeah.
And like I said, I died more from falling, and I had to end up cheating in this because I got to a warehouse level where you have to be on the catwalks and these beams in the roof and make these time jumps. And I tried it with the auto jump on, with the auto jump off, and I just thought I was going to throw my fucking controller. It was so frustrating because the level itself was fun, but this last part I couldn't get past it, and I had to put in a code, and I just skipped that level and went to the next level. And I played that and I was able to beat it. But I looked online, and yeah, people are talking about how it's a huge jump in difficulty in that level. And it's not that the level's difficult. It's just the way it was designed is difficult. And I hated it. That level can go toss a salad for all I care.
Get out of here.
No, it was super frustrating because I was stuck and I kept just trying to make that jump, and I really wanted to throw the controller, and I thought, screw it, I'm just gonna skip it and keep going because it's a fun game other than some of that stuff.
I was gonna say, really had a lot of fun. I think the other thing that I would make an adjustment to, besides like certain mechanics or like the way there's like the unresponsiveness with things, is maybe just the checkpoints not be so far away from each other, because that was very frustrating where progressing in the second level after the gangster hostages and infiltrating their pool hall and everything, it felt like maybe that should have been a checkpoint, but it wasn't. And I got to the point where I ended up falling in a hole and dying, even though I was surrounded by, even though before that, there was a massive shootout. None of the bullets or anything that hit me, it was falling in the pit, which you initially jumped down into anyways, killed me. So, I don't know. But then you start way back at the beginning of the first checkpoint in the second level, and it was like, dang, this is really frustrating.
Well, I felt bad that I seemed happy when you died, but I wanted you to get that experience. That's why that's what kept happening to me.
Yeah, no, I don't begrudge you at all. It was definitely, it's a flaw of the game, I would say.
Yeah, because you were starting to get into it, and you could tell you were really enjoying it from what I saw. And then you die because you fell in a 6-foot hole that you just jumped in.
I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled with modern gameplay where, although this had memory cards, so could you have saved and stuff, or no? It just would have taken you back to the checkpoint?
Well, even if you stop that level right there and go into it, your save starts you at the very beginning of the level.
Oh, so not even the checkpoint.
No, you'd have to. But that was and that's another thing too about the jumping and falling thing. I feel like there's no metric for it, because sometimes I would fall and it would take 5 HP or 10 HP. And then I'd fall from the same distance on some things, and it's like 30.
Yeah. It was very inconsistent.
Yeah, and the jumping and walking across beams and stuff came up in the movie studio level. It's come up in other things. That was honestly the main thing, was the jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And the falling just screwed everything up. And the responsiveness, like you said, because it kind of comes back to the jumping. But when you're close to a wall and try to jump up to the next ledge, if you're too close to the wall, you just jump straight up. You got to move back so you can jump straight up. But when you move back, you go fucking flying 20 feet.
I noticed that too. And I would just press forward on the control stick as I jump. So I would jump up into the wall, and then the next one, I would go forward. So I was able to make it, but it's still super annoying.
But you shouldn't have to
no,
cheat glitch it or try to figure out a way. It should just be pretty.
Yeah.
Why can't he just kind of move up the wall? Just pretend he grabs a ledge and pulls himself up a little bit. That's the frustrating thing. It just seems I don't know if you'd say unfinished, rushed.
Maybe rushed. Maybe they just didn't have the budget to code it that way, or maybe just the limitations of gaming at the time. Because that does maybe feel like maybe a mechanic that was maybe for PS3, Xbox 360s games more. I don't know.
Well, so I mean, the actual gameplay, the actual fighting is fun.
Yeah.
Everything else around it, no.
Not really. It is kind of funny to just encounter random NPCs and just ask them questions and just, hear their absurd responses to things.
No, it did have funny stuff like that with the NPC and their lines. Also, the way their lips moved was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's just the technology at the time, though, too.
they didn't have to make their mouths open that much.
No, they didn't. That's true.
And yeah, so that was good. All the lines they gave. Also for the GameCube, a lot of cussing.
I was surprised to see that this was rated M for mature. I didn't really think they made... I mean, obviously, this is one of many GameCube games, but too many games that were like that content rated on the GameCube.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard when I was first playing it. And then the guy says, bitch, you broke our glass, motherfucker. And I thought, whoa, okay.
Damn, that came out of nowhere.
I didn't know GameCube got down like that.
They do with Die Hard Vendetta.
Yeah, there's a lot of cussing, and then his daughter says the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker thing.
She does.
Yeah, which I love that part too, because when she goes yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, he just goes, that's my girl. Like, really, the voice of
really
voice,
quick.
And that was another thing, the voice acting.
Well, we all know where that voice acting budget went.
Yeah, because sometimes the guy who was doing John McClane did sound like him. Like when he yelled and stuff, it's like that kind of sounded like John McClane. And then when he talked normal, it sounded like a mix of Dirty Harry and John McClane.
Yeah, it was some kind of in-between thing where it didn't quite nail it, but there were elements where you're like, I guess that sounded like John McClane.
And then, like the Japanese characters, the accents or something else.
Oh, a lot of accents in this piece of work.
I don't think I saw any Japanese people on the voice crew.
And now, nope, looking at the IMDb, it didn't seem like it.
And then the German accents were out of this world. The guy who did Gruber's son, though, I guess I could just call him Gruber.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did. I think he was fine. Like, it
was serviceable.
Yeah, I think it was passable, especially for what we heard in the other voice acting.
Yes, yeah.
And Reginald VelJohnson knocked it out of the park.
Of course, Sergeant Al Powell.
No, one of those that sounded kind of echoey, like he was on like this podcast or something. It didn't sound like the best quality in one of them, where it's like, it sounds like they needed him to do extra lines in a closet or something.
Hey, we gotta have you redo this one. Just mail it into us, okay?
Yeah, Urkel didn't design his recording equipment because it would have been flawless.
Did I do that?
Oh, also like the game, like the callbacks to the movie, there were a lot of those. During the gameplay, you're in the air ducts a lot. To a point where it basically became like Rat Simulator, the game.
Yeah, and I noticed too in some of the cutscenes, like when you're on an elevator, it's falling. Also too, the explosion animations and the way they like filmed it or the way they designed it, it did look like how they've done in the Die Hard movies as far as the way they storyboarded it or just shot the angle of it, right?
Yeah.
It did remind you of like, oh, that is like a Die Hard cut, you know?
Well, and my favorite thing was the hero mode.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I saw it on the back of the cover or back of the game case.
Yeah, when you hit those two buttons at the same time and it goes in slow motion and Ode to Joy plays, and it's fun.
It is hilarious.
Yeah, you were laughing that whole time. You run around the room at regular speed. Everybody else is in slow motion. You've got classical Ode to Joy playing in the background.
It is the most, like, just... It's Christmas morning.
Yeah, I love that. And it's great for when you have to go into a room to save hostages, or in the film studio level, you have to snipe guys who are coming out to kill the police officers. So if you put that on, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. Another kind of frustrating thing, though, with the gameplay, the reload,
Yeah,
it was very slow.
realistic.
Is it, though?
No, because it was annoying.
Yeah.
But the reload time, it's like somebody who's an expert with firearms, it's like you could probably move that fast, but yeah, it would take some time. And
That's true.
That was the only thing I thought was that's annoying, but I know this isn't going for accuracy.
That's
though.
true.
So, but it's like if it was going for accuracy, I suppose somebody could do it in that amount of time.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny too. Like certain levels, you'd get like certain weapon drops. I remember I ended up with a sniper rifle, but like I'm sure you could aim down the scope.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time, or I didn't even try to, and I just fired it from the hip, and it still took 3 shots to bring down an enemy at point blank range. So I don't know.
You shot him in the penis.
Well, you think he'd still go down.
Yeah, in pain, but he'd still
A
be
sniper
alive.
rifle.
But, well, you had that guy run in as soon as you got the sniper rifle, so you didn't really get a chance to aim. Yeah, you can use the scope and zoom in. That's another negative about this one, was it has an automatic aim where it'll just pull and shoot towards the enemy, but I wanted to use the the manual aim.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just wanted a little bit more of a challenge. Because it seemed a little too easy when you'd walk into a room with 5 guys.
Yeah, you could just kind of spam the trigger and get them all.
You would just spray the whole room and get them. And I tried to do the manual aiming. It's for shit. Like, you can't... It moves so much, and then when you're firing, I don't know if it does it on purpose, like it's a recoil or what.
Oh, so it even moves farther away?
Yeah, but I don't think it even does it on purpose. It's just another game mechanic where it's super annoying. And I just had other problems too, like there's this one part where you're in a theater and you're supposed to shoot this thing and reveal like a way out of the room.
Okay.
But you're supposed to shoot like rope holding this stuff up. And I shot it like 4 times and nothing happened. And I had to look online again. And then it says, yeah, you just shoot that. And I did it again and then just kept slightly moving. And then all of a sudden it shot it down. So it's like I was
just
doing...
inch by inch.
Yeah, so I was doing the right thing. But because if you're not at this certain angle or whatever, it doesn't work.
Oh.
So that's why this game was... I don't know how to really rank it because I would have a lot of fun at certain points and other points. I changed the controller at one point because it wasn't reacting enough, and I thought maybe it's this controller. So I swapped it for the one that I know works perfectly, and it was the same thing. So it's just the game's flawed that way because I went up to stuff and hit it. And nothing happened, and then I'd look and say, no, that's what you're supposed to do, and I'd go and do it again, and then it'd work. So, yeah, that was getting really frustrating, and this game shouldn't have been that long.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be that long.
No, I would just keep missing stuff, like I said, with the shading and other things like that, that's very obvious once it said, go there, and this is on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I couldn't see that, and like I said, brightness all the way up.
Yeah, and maybe it's just the way the frame rate is, or the way the things move, the pace of things. But it is like you're kind of, it's hard to focus in sometimes because you're like, your movements, your steps are very quick, your turns very quick, but if you're running into walls because you're so close, it would just been nice if the camera could have been backed up a bit.
Well, that, and I wish you got guided a little more.
True.
Like, I don't like being hand-fed.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff, like, when I was telling you about how you have to get into that club, you need to put on, like, the gang's clothing to blend in.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing tells you that.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I've cleared that room of hostages. I didn't know I needed to go over the counter and grab their clothes that are there.
Yeah, there's nothing that indicates that whatsoever. And that... I got stuck on that too, and I had to look at what I was missing, and it said, "Oh, you got to grab the clothes on the counter." Okay, like they don't stick out. You didn't notice them. Like I had to tell you.
You would have been like, "Oh, I didn't know that was something I can interact with."
Yeah, because that's the thing. You would have been there all day and had to look it up, and that's what happened to me.
It's not like a bright red box of health.
Yeah, because those are all over the place. It's like, I can tell that's health.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just had something that showed me that I'm supposed to grab that, like I said, I don't want to be hand-fed, but damn, I need to know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for the time, it's not like this is an open world game. You're kind of on rails a little. So, it's not like you can just go wherever.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you would make the combat so easy, but all the other crap surrounding it so difficult, so unnecessarily difficult.
Yeah. Well,
but I think you had a good point when you said that this is a prime game to be remade.
yeah, I would think if they remastered it or something like and updated it to modern systems, maybe definitely the PC and things like that, where you could fix some of that stuff or maybe figure out a better way and just a better storyline. I think you got a home run of a game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just wish they would have fixed those things with it. And I would like if the combat was a little harder.
Okay.
So you just couldn't go in and spray a room and just stand there.
That's true.
It wasn't difficult, and that's why the game bothered me, is that my difficulty is just the ass mechanics of this.
I feel like, though, it's kind of like in Die Hard, though, like in the movie series, like, those side characters, they never really give him too much trouble. He's able to kind of just clear out the henchmen, so to speak, and so forth.
Yeah.
So I kind of appreciated that way. But yeah, maybe just some more guidance and stuff like that. But also, I don't like too much of a challenge in my games.
Coward.
I am.
No, I'm fine with a challenge. I just hate when it's
It was kind of easy, though.
Yeah, I just hate when the challenge is the way the game was designed.
Yeah.
Like the mechanics of it, not the actual level.
That's true.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how to grade this one.
Yeah, it's like you said, there's something there. There's something there. It's almost like when a sports team is like, are they worthy of a first round pick? I don't know. There's something there, but like it is kind of a project. Maybe we'll stow them away in overseas or in the G League for a little bit, let them develop. But
and the bummer of this one is I didn't know it existed until I was just looking on eBay and it was in a bundle of games that I bought, and I was pretty excited for it.
Oh yeah,
because that's what I thought.
Die Hard, Vendetta. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome.
Well, because we didn't do one last week because I didn't really know what we were gonna play, and then I got this one. And thought, well, that's perfect.
Yeah,
and I was expecting a lot more. I thought maybe it would be kind of bare bones, but I just didn't expect the mechanics to be this shit.
Yeah, that's really the only thing. Like even the storyline. It's like, I could get past that if the mechanics were better. But because they're not, it is like, all right, that's a big drawback.
But, good thing though, silver lining, with the bundle of games I bought, I only paid about $13.75 for it, if you average it out. And I would say it was definitely worth that price. I'd be fine if I paid $25 for it.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun enough.
Yeah.
I was entertained enough for a while. It was just that one level.
Right. And I feel like I would be happy to play this game again.
Also crappy that only Europe got the PlayStation 2 and Xbox release, because the PlayStation 1, I guess, had a multiplayer. Because I saw that online, it was saying it was a multiplayer game. But the GameCube, which is the only one America got, is only one player.
Which is so backwards when you think about it, because
we have friends.
Well, yeah.
But America.
PS2, right. I mean, sure, they're 2-player games, but I don't think I ever played more than a 2-player game on a PS2.
It's July 5th. I still got the Patriot spirit.
There you go. I dig it. But yeah, like GameCube, that I played tons of 4-player games on the GameCube before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like because it was Nintendo and 64 was a 4-player system, and usually, it was more catered to multiplayer, whereas I feel like PS2 was like All right, you have a buddy, or you play solo.
Well, that's kind of the weird thing is when I looked it up, it said up to 4 players on the PlayStation 2, and I thought, who had one of those splitter things?
Dude, I think maybe once, like I saw someone, or like I was at somebody's house and they had it, and it was like, what is this? This is terrible.
I never knew of such a child.
Yeah.
I've never seen the splitter thing in real life where you could have 4 people play on it. And that's what I mean. GameCube is perfect for that. Why wouldn't that have it?
I have no idea. That just when you shared that with me, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, that was annoying.
Yeah.
That was the whole benefit of the GameCube and the 64. Is
Exactly.
that all your friends?
Yeah.
So this is one of those games too where was this game always intended to be a Die Hard game?
Ooh, okay.
Because you can kind of feel it where it's like this could kind of be any game, right?
Yeah, I mean it's really just a kind of a first person shooter game, I guess. You know, with any storyline that you could add into it.
So I looked it up. It was supposed to be a different game.
Nice.
Originally, it was just going to be an N64 game. That was it. It wasn't based on a movie.
Okay, just
some
N64 game shooter.
Because it's a GoldenEye player.
Okay.
Like because this plays like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
So it was just going to basically be another game that kind of had the same mechanics as GoldenEye. Then they decided to make it a video game for. Would you want to guess? I don't think you're going to get it. An action movie from the 90s. Sequel.
Okay. From the 90s, sequel. So the original movie came out in the 90s?
Yeah, and the sequel, both of them.
It's a shooter?
Kind of.
Ooh, kind of. I am going to say... I'm only thinking of 2000 stuff right now. 90s shooter. I don't know.
Speed 2.
Oh, Cruise Control?
Yes, it was supposed to be a video game for Speed 2.
All right. But there's no racing. There's no driving mechanic.
I guess it was supposed to take place on a boat too. This game, which I don't know why. Then the GameCube came out and this was still like now they're working under Die Hard.
Okay.
As it being a Die Hard one.
They're like, Speed 2 didn't do as well.
That's exactly what happened, because Speed 2, people didn't like it, no Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, well, and just be honest. Okay, now we're on a boat. Like...
It really does lower the stakes.
Yeah. Speed, fun movie.
So,
very fun movie.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be Die Hard 64.
All right.
That's what it was called, or the working title. And then the GameCube came out because they didn't finish the game in time. So they started changing it to adapt it for the GameCube hardware. So I'm wondering, is that where the mechanics started getting really messed up?
Probably. Also, maybe the script, too.
Yeah.
Right, for the story mode.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if that is what really played into it, and maybe they just told them, you got to release something. Like, I don't know, because this seems not unfinished, but rushed.
It's definitely rough around the edges. It's not polished.
It seemed like you were told to move on.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe the way it's... Because there's no way in hell somebody thought, this is good. This is how I want it to play.
Like I said, it feels so close, but unfinished, not quite on its full mark, right? And so, I could see where they were like, hey, let's just get it out there.
Yeah, hard game to break down. And would you recommend it to somebody?
I think I would. Because if you like those kind of action-style movies, or even just kind of first-person shooter games, I think it is kind of fun. Even though there are the flaws of really like a coherent story that does really make sense, that doesn't have a lot of holes. It does have holes and stuff, but you can get past that. It's just kind of the game mechanics. I think if you persevere through that, you can still have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun until the factory level.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would recommend it to somebody, but I would tell them...
Yeah, just, tapered expectations.
Don't feel bad about looking on the internet for what to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, because sometimes there's really no way around it.
Yeah.
And that's not just because you couldn't figure it out. That's also because, it's just not working like it should.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't cooperate.
Well, I guess now I can read the back of the box because I got the box.
Nice.
And this came complete, and it comes with an instruction manual, and you have like a hint manual.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't know that, and then I went to look to see if it revealed anything. Didn't really reveal much.
It's just there for a tease.
So, Die Hard Vendetta, America's unluckiest cop is having another very bad day. John McClane is back, this time in an all-out battle to save his daughter. Rely on the killer instincts that made McClane a legend. Use your wits and everything else at your disposal to blast your way through LA's seedy underbelly. Take out a multitude of bad guys and save the day as the Die Hard saga continues. Featuring Reginald VelJohnson. No, but it does say that in game features. This is a game feature. New storyline, new and original film characters, plus the actual voice of Reginald VelJohnson, Officer Powell from the Die Hard film.
They're really selling it, and I love it because you know what? I love good old Reginald VelJohnson.
So, do you think they gamed it?
This is tough because the IP is just Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
It's not like based off of any other movie other than up until, right, after the third one. If there was a fourth one made, this was going to be the movie. So we only can take their word. I'm going to say they gamed it.
I really don't know what an answer. I could go either way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because the character doesn't look like John McClane at all to me.
Other than he's wearing a wife beater and slacks the whole time.
That was it.
That's his standard just dress.
And he kept wearing a wife beater even in situations where it's like, dude, you came here knowing.
Yeah, you can wear regular clothes. It's okay.
Yeah, the guy did not look like John McClane at all. He looked like a guy who would try to sell me a stereo that fell off a truck.
Is that because just maybe they couldn't get the NIL of Bruce Willis, right?
With the way this game plays, I don't know. Well, no, Reginald VelJohnson.
I know, but they don't mention anything about old Brucey Willis.
Yeah, but Reginald VelJohnson doesn't even look like he's supposed to.
Okay, that's true.
And then they had the reporter from the first one.
Yeah.
Who, I just call him Walter Peck. It was the bad guy from Ghostbusters. He's the reporter.
Yeah, he's a notorious bad guy.
Yeah, and like everything.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look anything like he's supposed to either.
That's true.
And his voice doesn't sound right. I think it was just their design. Because he had Reginald VelJohnson sign off, so it should have looked like him.
Right. Was it just maybe the limitations of the game, or like how you could make characters look?
I don't think so, because when I played other ones, like the Hulk one on GameCube, you can tell that's supposed to be Eric Bana.
Okay.
Like you can see that. So I think it was just not very good.
You can tell who John McClane is. You know.
If it wasn't for the wife beater,
you don't think you would be able to?
Nah.
Okay.
Because if somebody just showed me that, like a picture of that, and it wasn't for the wife beater,
who is this?
Yeah, who is this from the video? Like, what video game is this? I wouldn't have any idea if you just put a black shirt on him.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to chalk it up, though, to just limitations on graphics for me. But.
So, you said they game it. I'm going to say no. Because I think it could have just been anything, really. But that one is like the closest call I think I've had.
Yeah.
Did they get, because I was really on the fence. Just like the rating of it. I don't really know how to rate it either.
Because it's just the whole franchise as an IP, right? So that's where it's like, it's hard to say, is it accurate to anything? I guess no, because it was all hypothetical. But or sure, because it was all hypothetical. But yeah, the rating system, It's going to be a tough one.
I would say, because I'm so, like, in the middle and haven't had anything picked, I'm not going to give it an actual number grade.
Okay.
But I'll go halfway and say you die soft.
Die soft. Frustration. I don't know. How to do that too. I would say you live hard.
Okay. That's good. Well, that was the most confusing one I think we've had.
It was up there.
Yeah, because I've said 1,000 times, I really don't know what to say about the game. Not bad, not good. I
do kind of like it.
I do like it, but I do like it for the most part.
Yeah.
But you didn't get to the harder level.
That's true. I didn't.
Where once you get to that once you get to the warehouse where you got to do I think you would just give up.
Yeah, probably, or I would just use the code.
That's what I would have gave up if I didn't have the code.
Oh, okay.
I would have been done.
Done.
All right, well, that's it for this week's episode. Sean, thanks again for coming.
Absolutely, anytime.
Excellent. Join me next week when Margaret Thatcher and I review the garbage-picking, field-goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomena on the Virtual Boy. Until then.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page.